Welcome everybody to our first college football playoff top 6 breakdown and prediction. Today I'm going to reveal who I believe should be the top 6 that should be revealed tomorrow night when the college football playoff committee releases their first initial rankings. Along with every reveal that I do, I'm going to give you plenty of explanation on why I put certain teams where, because 2 through 8 you can make an argument for any team, and don't freak out because things always change. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We are going to start from 1 to 6. And at the number 1 slot, no surprise to everyone, it's going to be the Georgia Bulldogs. They have been absolutely dominant on the defensive side. On the offensive side, it feels like they just keep getting better. How about them Dogs? Watching all of these top 10 teams, the way their defense flies around, it is unbelievable. So no question why they are still at number 1. Before I reveal my number 2 team, chill out. I'm going to explain. Don't click off this video. Okay, for me, coming in at number 2, I got the Ohio State Buckeyes as my number 2 team in the country right now. And I think they should be tomorrow night. Now, I have a lot of questions to answer. Here we go. There is no question about it. Ohio State was historically awful first 2 weeks of the season, and last year when we played Alabama. Historically, our defense gave up the most yards, points, all of that. But when you have 5-star, 4-star players on the defensive side, it's very obvious that all of that is schematics and that stuff can be changed. It can be adjusted. Now there's 2 arguments to this. I can sit here and tell you that Ohio State, definitely defensively, we have improved so much since the Oregon game. On the other side of that, you might say, well, you haven't played nobody, which is a valid argument. However, the difference between Ohio State defense right now and when we played Oregon was, against Oregon, there was nothing but busted coverages and a broken scheme, giving up huge one-play touchdowns all the time. Since then, take old man Kerry Coombs, throw him up in the box. Matt Barnes is down there calling a much better defense. And I'll admit, against Penn State, Sean Clifford was lighting it up when we didn't have pressure, right? That's the biggest question for me with this Ohio State defense is when they can get pressure, the things that they want to do schematically with the cover 2 blitz, it works so well. But the times when they were bringing 5 people and not able to get home or affect Clifford at all, that's when Clifford was able to stand back there and deliver on the dime. Look, number 2 and number 3, you'll see, are very close to me. Like, you could flip them. I'll talk about them more when I show number 3. But Ohio State offensively, the O-line did not play great in the first half against Penn State. You can tell there was so many missed assignments, miscommunications. But when you look at the weapons that are on this offense, when they're clicking, it is unbelievable. There's still a lot of questions to be answered with Ohio State, especially coming up when they got to play top 10 Michigan State, probably top 10 Michigan. So we are going to find out a lot. I got them at number 2 right now. Realistically, from the committee, I could see them putting them at like a 4 or something. The argument of, oh, it's Oregon not above Ohio State. To me, that's very simple. It matters when you lose. Ohio State lost week 2, okay? And ever since then, Ohio State has been absolutely dominating everybody. Oregon, on the other hand, has not. Not only did they lose to Stanford, they've had a lot of closer games and have not looked as dominant. If you lose in week 2, and then, like, let's say Oregon loses, what was it, week 5 or something, it doesn't automatically mean that they should be right above them. When you lose matters because you'll have time to build back up and climb through the ranks. Now at the end of the season, we'll see. They'll have a pretty good argument. All right, guys, let's take a look at my number 3 team in the country. We got the Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, so number 2 and number 3, you could definitely flip those 2. Alabama did have a bye week last week, so that's the only reason I was having a hard time putting them over Ohio State. But you could flip them, have no argument for me. Bama does look beatable this year. On the flip side of that, Bama still looks like Bama. That Alabama offense with Bryce Young, Mechie, and Jamison Williams, you got some absolute studs on that offense. I love their defense too, but you can definitely tell that this year more than other years, they're allowing a lot more big plays. I think like Tennessee had a few big plays in there and they were able to put up some points. Yeah, so I got them at 3, but you could definitely switch them and put them at 2. And they got a huge game coming up against Auburn. So, all right, let's check out who I got at my number 4 slot. And it is the Cincinnati Bearcats. For a few reasons, I got Cincinnati down at 4. No question, they should definitely get credit for trying to schedule, a tougher schedule. I know these are made years in advance. They went to Indiana. They won that in a close one. They beat Notre Dame on the road. The best thing that's happening to Cincinnati right now is Notre Dame keeps winning. That is their best win currently, as Notre Dame sits at 7-1. But I'm telling you, because all these other teams and all these other Power 5 conferences are going to have the ability to play these big games late in the year and go win, their big Power 5 conference championships. Cincinnati is playing Tulane, a 1-7 team. And Tulane gave them a really good fit early on. So Navy and Tulane were both close games. Cincinnati needs to be putting a smack down on these teams right now, and they're not doing that. So that's why I'm going to drop them down to 4. Because I don't necessarily think it's right that they have one good win on their schedule and that's just an automatic bid to the playoffs. Especially when there's other teams. There's so many teams that are in the mix right now. So to me, that's why they're down at 4. Let's check out the number 5 team in the country. And it is the Michigan State Spartans, coming off of a huge win against that team up north. They get the win 37-33. They advanced to 8-0. Mel Tucker has really been doing great things with that program, bringing in that spread. And they brought in so many transfers this year. It's really cool to see them put it all together. And watching their running back, he had 5 touchdowns against Michigan. He was just unbelievable. I love Reed and Naylor, watching them play. I got them at number 5 right now. But hey, you know what? You got Ohio State in a couple weeks. There's your chance to knock Ohio State out and you climb up in there and secure one of those top spots. They can definitely do it. All right, guys. And for my last team, I have the Oklahoma Sooners at number 6. Like, yeah, dude, what's your problem? Why do you got OU at 6? I'll tell you why. Yes, there's no question. Ever since they got Caleb Williams in, he's been making plays, winning games. That was a great win against Texas Tech. However, they had that really close game against Kansas. In the week before that, they gave up 31 points to TCU. Oklahoma is another team that within the next few weeks, we're going to find out a lot more about them, if they are for real or not. Just like so many of these other teams. That's why I'm saying don't overreact. Don't take it as a personal insult if your team is not where you think they should be. They're going to have a chance to show it. Baylor's a good football team. Then they got Iowa State and then Oklahoma State. Then they got the Big 12 championship game. You win all those, you'll probably be in. For me, it's just hard to put a team like Oklahoma in there because I'm really just not sold on that defense. But yeah, we will definitely see what's going to happen. Those are my top 6. That's what I think the top 6 should be. I don't think it'll actually look anything like that. As you see, after the number 1 team, you have like 7 teams that you can make arguments for. That should be up there. That's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think down below. We still have plenty of the season left to get all of this stuff figured out. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that sub button for me, and I'll catch you guys later.